We all know how poppin' the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary has been ever since midnight on the 10th of this month. And because the event was Japan only, things have been taking a bit to get translated. Like right now, we got early interviews from Nomura that are still coming out. First of all, it was congratulating Nomura for these 20 years and how he really feels about the Kingdom Hearts series now and all this time and still going forward, and if there's any hints to what's to be later on. But the real meat of the interview comes in later on when it starts talking more about Quadratum, the state of the world, the state of Kingdom Hearts currently, Sora's whereabouts, what's happening, who he's fighting, his abilities that you can see on screen, what are Donald and Goofy doing, new techniques, all these type of things like that. One of the more interesting sides of this interview was how the interviewer and Nomura talked about how Quadratum's fictional status is really just in conjunction with the people on Sora's side, whereas the Quadratum residents would think of more of Sora's side as the fictitious space. Which you're probably thinking, I mean, isn't that obvious since we know Quadratum's supposed to be like a fictional world to us? Well, I mean, the fact that they're even going to explore that on a more personal level is something that's really interesting to me, and I like that. Definitely gives me hopes for potentially hopping between different fictional worlds from certain points of view, like how the Kingdom Hearts world is a fictional world to Quadratum, but there's other worlds like Final Fantasy world and things like that that are just different realms rather than just planets in that specific setting. Even mentioning the whole life and death thing, and Nomura talks about how it's more of like a contrast between people's different perceptions of reality currently. So Quadratum's people are like, oh, they're alive and well, but to Sora and Shalicia, to them, they can be considered dead. Big air quotes. But the main thing I was really intrigued about was the battling concept for Kingdom Hearts 4 being around this sort of scrap and build type thing, or at least that's what they called it. So in addition to the return of reaction commands, which is pretty hype, that makes for a lot more interesting battle sequences, they talked about the whole scrap and build type mechanic that's going to be heavily involved because the interviewer asked about the different Keyblades deforming and reforming in the free running section we saw in the trailer too. So after pointing out build is a command that symbolizes the whole scrap and build system, the interviewer asked, what is scrap and build? And Nomura, although he says I can't tell you details about it, he specifies that destruction and reconstruction are the keys to this battle system or this battle mechanic. So when I first read that, I was like, huh, scrapping and building. So it seems like he can do that to his Keyblade, kind of similar to what you can do to Keyblade transformations, but he's like taking it apart, reassembling it, almost changing the actual structure down to a science of what his Keyblade can do. But I also thinking maybe he can use that same type of ability to take the abilities of other people. Maybe he can chop off a component of maybe like a Heartless and then attach it to his Keyblade and use that ability almost like an ability stealing thing, which I think would be really sick. And then I was like, wait a minute, ability stealing, hold up, doesn't that sound very familiar to somebody we just recently got more acquainted with? Yeah, I'm talking about Yozora. Also, did you hit the subscribe button? Go ahead and hit it, it's right down there. I know you want to. As soon as I got to that ability stealing type idea from the whole scrap and build type mechanic, I was like, that sounds a lot like what Yozora did to Sora in the battle when you fight him at the end of the Remind DLC. Because remember, specifically in the fight against Yozora, when he uses that move on you, he knocks Sora's Keyblade away. He doesn't take Sora's Keyblade and start using it. He literally knocks it up in the air. He disassembles it and turns it almost like this data type look, and it reassembles, completely integrating into his own weapon, making his weapon into something completely new entirely. And then that led me to thinking, that sounds completely right, because we first meet Yozora while we fight him in Quadratum after he said he had to go through some trials in order to actually get to Sora. So question, did he always have this ability, or did he obtain this ability while just being in Quadratum itself? And if he always had this ability, then that definitely tells me that Sora is going to have some type of interaction with Yozora that we definitely did not expect, into where Sora gains an ability that Yozora has himself. Maybe it'll be like a Cloud type thing when Cloud taught him Sonic Blade. Was it Sonic Blade? I'm pretty sure it was Sonic Blade. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure it was Sonic Blade, but you get what I'm saying here, man. But it's also kind of hard to say if he already has had another interaction with Yozora up to this point, because of the way the trailer is cut from the point to where he meets Shalicia and the point to where he's running up on this actual enemy. If those events happen like in the same day or in like a really close time frame, or if this actual fight is much after he first meets Shalicia. But honestly, I'm really happy reaction comments are coming back. That was a really dope mechanic for Kingdom Hearts 2, and it just made the flow back battle even more exciting and hype, almost like having a mini cutscene in there, you know? And I was really intrigued by the whole scrap and build thing, seemingly having something similar to what Yozora had. Are they the same ability? Are they just similar? Am I just grasping at straws here just completely? But I think I'm onto something. What do you guys think? Put hashtag Yozora move question mark on your comment if you think I might be onto something, and let me know what you guys think about that idea, about the whole reaction commands coming back, the whole scrap and build mechanic, and if you're excited for the full interview that we're gonna get on April 28th. Thank you all for watching, and see you guys at the next one. Don't forget to check the links in the description for the links to my Twitter, and especially my Twitch, where my streams happen primarily. Some streams may happen over here or on both, but hey, don't follow it anyway. See you guys in the next video.